portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The legal year opened today with a church service at Christ Church Cathedral, followed by the first sitting of the Supreme Court for the year.
As Fern Carey tells us, the Chief Justice also made an announcement during the event.
After reviewing the work of the court over the past year, Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett said it is misleading and unfair to blame the flaws in the justice system on the increase in crime in the country. And while he acknowledged that the temporary courts in Bank Lane will have a positive impact, he cautioned against viewing them as a solution to crime.
This society must find a way to address the problem of dysfunctional families, witness intimidations, persons seeking to avoid jury's duty for reasons good and bad, for a prison system that hardens some criminals, and for an unforgiving society that is not willing to give persons who have spent time in prison a second chance.
To address security concerns and to boost efficiency, the Chief Justice recommended that the old Supreme Court building in Bank Lane be renovated. He also noted that more courts are needed to hear family matters. Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson also addressed concerns about the granting of bail.
Of applications for murder and related offenses, 55 were granted or varied, and 97 denied, revoked, or dismissed. Of applications for armed robbery and related offenses, 70 were granted or varied, and 51 were denied, revoked, or dismissed. Of applications for possession of a firearm or related offenses, 36 were granted or varied, and 13 were denied or dismissed.
Now, during the special sitting, the Chief Justice, who was emotional at times, announced that he would be demitting office. He explained that he had planned on doing so back in August of 2013 when he celebrated his 60th birthday. However, he said Prime Minister Perry Christie asked him to reconsider. As a result, the Chief Justice said he remained in office for the entire 2014. However, he said he maintained his decision to demit office.
To dispel any rumor that I am in any way being forced out of office or that I am leaving office because of any friction with the government. My decision is of my own will and for very personal reasons. This will be the last time that I will preside over the opening of the legal year as Chief Justice of the Bahamas.
Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett will demit office on January 31st. He will then return to private practice. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
From the House, there's good news for consumers who qualify for government's food assistance program. Minister of Social Services and Community Development, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, told the House today that in short order, government will increase the rates of food service assistance by 5%. Griffin says this increase is a direct response to further assisting consumers following the implementation of value-added tax.
Food is a basic necessity, and many indigent individuals and families rely heavily on the government's food assistance program to meet this basic and essential need. These persons, like everybody else, are required to pay value-added tax on food items, which would have to be absorbed from the face value of the food coupon. In order to lessen the hardship for persons who are already experiencing difficulty in feeding themselves and their families, the decision was taken to increase the rates of food assistance by 5%, which I am advised is in line with the normal initial fallout from VAT-based on research. Currently, the food assistance rates range from $80 to $180 per month. The increased rates will range from $84 to $189 per month and will take effect at the end of this month, January 2015.
Minister of State for Finance, the Honorable Michael Halkitis, today said that to date, 5,450 businesses have registered for the value-added tax, and that's 950 more businesses than were projected for registration.
Among the issues for which complaints are being received are non-display of VAT certificates, issuance of proper invoices and sales receipts, overcharging of VAT, and a general increase in commodity prices far above what is justifiable to account for VAT and associated administrative costs. Businesses are advised against increasing prices over and above the required amount. We are extremely pleased that the consumers are being so vigilant. This level of awareness speaks to the quantity and quality of work done by the VAT Department in preparing not only businesses, but not only the business community, but the consumers as well. Additionally, businesses are reminded that the duty rates on a wide range of items have been reduced, and so the benefit of the reduction in duty should be passed on to the consumer.
Also from Parliament today, members started debating the second reading of a bill to amend the electricity bill. This bill was tabled back on December 3rd, 2014, and seeks to regulate those people who want to generate alternative energy such as wind, solar, and other renewable sources of energy. Member of Parliament for Southern Shores, Minister of the Environment, the Honourable Kendrick Dorset, opened the debate. He says this landmark legislation will bring about the necessary changes to the benefit of the country in the long term.
58 seconds.
The electricity is generated by gas turbines, which are costly to acquire and maintain, and have also contributed to the environmental degradation of our beautiful islands because of the fossil fuel used to operate the equipment. This degradation is evident in the recent oil spill experienced at the Clifton Power Plant. This is not a new occurrence, Mr. Speaker. It has been happening for 50 years. And I am proud to say that this administration is taking the necessary steps to bring the environmental degradations at Clifton to an end once and for all. Cabinet has recently approved funding for my ministry to aggressively address the environmental remediation of Clifton. In time, this will bring an end to oil escaping into the marine environment, creating a problem for persons diving and snorkeling in the surrounding area.
Several international scientists, along with members of the National Stem Cell Ethics Committee, are reviewing proposals from a list of entities wishing to engage in banking of cells and uses of cells for clinical research in this country. Today, it's the first formal meeting between both partners as the country seeks to launch the stem cell industry. Advisor for the Stem Cell National Committee, Joshua Hare, says he strongly believes stem cell research is good for the Bahamas only if the procedure is done successfully.
What you want to avoid is doing treatments that may or may not work under the guise of research when it's really not research. So it's very important to separate investigation from delivering something that's a treatment and that's unproven. So that's a big part of our discussions on this committee. How do we find the right balance and the right regulations in the Bahamas to allow responsible groups to do stem cell research or cell-based therapy research, and to make sure that there are appropriate safeguards for patients.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Glenn Beneby talked about the impact the stem cell industry will have on all patients.
Emerging new industry, the potential of which is significant in terms of its scientific relevance, as well as the other impact it will have on the tourist industry. In terms of the scientific evidence, the fact that we have an international relationship with experts to enhance the standard of care, which we're doing in the country, will have a direct impact on patients receiving stem cell, as well as patients receiving other types of care, because it has to be at a particular standard.
A man wanted for murder has been arrested. Police say shortly before 11 o'clock yesterday morning, officers assigned to a special police operations team acting on intelligence went to Churchill Avenue, Chippenham, where they arrested a 22-year-old man who was wanted in connection with an attempted murder. Police also recovered a shotgun the suspect had in his possession. Also late last night, police took into custody a 27-year-old woman in connection with the traffic fatality from Monday. Police say that shortly after 6 Monday morning, a woman was driving a black Honda Civic on Golden Isles Road when she hit a male pedestrian and dragged him about 1,000 feet east on Carmichael Road. The victim, 55-year-old Anthony Erdley Moss of Rocky Pine Road, was pronounced dead on the scene.
And more from a champion. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.